Welcome to the Banff World Media Festival. Your session is about to begin.
If you're just joining us, we are covering a developing story. We go back now to Southern California, where a VH1 bus crashed just a short while ago, spilling more than 2,000 pounds of slut onto Interstate 5 near Palmdale. The bus was transporting contestants for the new VH1 reality series, The Road to Knoxville, in which 18 scantily clad young women vie for the heart of divorced stuntman Johnny Knoxville. Officials there are struggling to control the spread of slut, which has already polluted the roadway and is spreading now down a hillside into residential areas. Let's go live to Onion News Network's Brian Scott, who's live on the scene. Brian, what's exactly going on out there?
Well, it's just horrible, Anna. The highway here was not pristine to begin with, but now it's covered in all of this orange-skinned slut. I've only been here an hour. I've already seen 4 three-way kisses and 6 tattoos with misspellings. Oh. And downwind, the stench of perfume and tequila mixed together is pretty difficult to stomach.
Well, it sounds like quite a scene. Brian, I understand that the sluts had been loaded onto the bus in Huntington Beach early this morning. Is that right?
That's where it began. Yes, the sluts were being transported from a negligee-wearing rock climbing contest there to a girl-on-girl paintball match when the crash occurred. There's been speculation, in fact, the accident was actually caused by some slut leaking into the front cab on the vehicle and getting on the driver.
I see.
Now, the local fire department is just not equipped to handle something this toxic. The problem is that we're very close to the San Gabriel River, and officials are concerned that the sluts might go skinny dipping in it or think it's a hot tub and make out in it.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But we should say, too, that the crews, they're doing their best. They're just trying to keep these sluts contained with impromptu strip-offs and shooter contests in the ditch behind me.
Now, we've just gotten word that VH1 has issued a statement. It's on their website. It says they are fully committed to the safe handling of sluts.
Yes, but the EPA has urged VH1 to use perhaps a more diluted form of slut than this highly concentrated slut they use now.
Yeah, all sounds like good stuff, but I don't think VH1's gonna ever go for that. Brian, stay safe out there and don't fuck any of those sluts.
All right, thanks, Anna.
Moving on, a new Apple laptop will become preloaded with a half-written coming-of-age novel.
When your world is gripped by confusion and terror, there's only one news network you can turn to.
It's definitely the most exciting school shooting in years.
It begs the question, is stealing a child as easy as it seems?
Accurate.
Play your cards right here. You could become an insufferable rich asshole.
The violence here shows no signs of stopping ever.
Hard-hitting.
You are lying!
With over a century of broadcasting experience, 407 channels, 9 billion viewers across 811 countries, and cameras watching over 80% of the world's population, the Onion News Network is news without mercy.
The next Peabody goes to the most venerated, the most prestigious network, I should say, among the online-originated parody news networks. It is the Onion News Network. Parody has never been so sharp, so precise, so perfectly performed.
Desperate attempt to fill 24 hours of programming, here's some bullshit that happened somewhere today. We've got some footage here of the bullshit, which began just after 3 o'clock this afternoon, when residents in this neighborhood were shocked to see this fairly common thing happening. An attractive witness described the event in breathless terms.
I went to my window and I was like, whoa, there's some bullshit happening.
That happened right over there. I'm an older man, so you can trust what I say.
Authorities in special uniforms rushed to the scene to stand around while our cameras filmed them. Our reporter Keith Collins joins us now live from the scene of the bullshit through the use of expensive technology. Good to be with you again, Keith. We have a colorful graphic here that shows instances of bullshit like this are on the rise. Is that right?
Yes, although why is unclear. Some say it's because of one fucking reason. Others say it's because of some other fucking reason. I talked to this random expert on the subject who told me this thing you're about to hear him say right after he points at a piece of paper.
I spent my entire life attending the nation's most prestigious schools to talk about bullshit like this. I'm really just happy to be on TV.
Now let's see if we can drag this out a little longer by showing emails written by some of our viewers. I once saw some stuff kind of like the shit you're talking about happen. I have nothing more to add. Another person says, I am angry that things like this happen. I get mad about every bullshit thing I see. So obviously a lot of opinions there to make this story seem somewhat meaningful.
Oh, absolutely, Glenn. This bullshit has some broader implications. Here's a list of tips on how to avoid bullshit happening to you.
And here's some footage of Congress.
Yes, I see that.
Well, thank you, Keith. Let us know if there are any updates on this bullshit story from there.
There's no way there will be.
Very good. We'll check back with you in an hour anyway.
I'm just some fucking guy.
When we return, we'll look at live footage of a car chase taken from a helicopter and free associate about what's going on.
One day they say that blueberries prevent cancer, and then the next day they say that blueberries cause cancer.
That's totally true. You know what would be a great Onion headline? Cancer prevents cancer.
That's so Onion. It's so you, but it's also so Onion. Oh.
Stole that from The Onion. What? You stole that. I read that in The Onion about the war in Iraq. Well, if that's true, then I'd say they've got some sharp cookies over at the, what is it again? The Onion? So if I go up to your room right now, I'm not going to find a copy of The Onion, right? No. Oh, damn it! That's what I...
It's the Onion Radio News. A really fun toy has been banned after killing 3 stupid kids. This is Doyle Redland reporting. The Whizco Toy Company of Montclair, New Jersey has voluntarily recalled 245,000 Aqua Assault Robo-Fighters after 3 dumb kids managed to kill themselves playing with the popular toy and ruining the fun for everyone else. Whizco President Alvin Cassidy.
These 3 retards came along and somehow found a way to get themselves killed. So now we have to do a full recall and halt production on what was a really awesome toy. What a waste.
Each of the deaths was determined to be the result of gross misuse of the toy, an incredibly cool device that could shoot both plastic missiles and long jets of water simultaneously. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News.
We now continue our coverage of our top news story this morning, President Bush's tour of America to survey the damage caused by his disastrous presidency.
Right, Tracy, here's what we know so far. The presidency started and hit America at around 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time back on January 20th, 2001. Now, so far, that presidency has caused some $9 trillion worth of debt. It's left thousands of people dead, and still, even this morning, it continues to rage on. We have some footage to show you here of some of the survivors.
Well, I didn't think it was going to be this bad.
Arkansas's never seen nothing like this. This ain't the country. This is it's just mind-boggling.
President Obama announced today he will drastically scale back his agenda for America after a visit to a Denny's restaurant in Manassas, Virginia, caused him to, quote, completely reconsider what our nation is capable of achieving. In a press conference this afternoon, the president said, quote, what I saw at Denny's made me realize how much I have overestimated the American people. Before we reclaim global leadership, we must first stop eating 6 sausages and a pound of eggs covered in syrup for breakfast, and we must stop leaving the house in sweatpants. For more, let's go to Onion News Network Washington correspondent Jane Carmichael, who was traveling with the president this morning.
Thanks, Andrea. The president stopped by the Denny's for breakfast en route to a speaking engagement and spent about 35 minutes inside. When he came out, he looked visibly shaken. I spoke to several Denny's customers and employees who witnessed the president's visit.
Well, I told him I had no job, and he asked where I've been looking for one. And I was like, what do I want to work for?
He said something to me about some colleges, something for my kids, but I could barely hear him with this little bitch crying his head off.
I microwaved his food until it was hot all the way through, because, you know, he's the president.
I'm Juliana McCannis, filling in for Clifford Baines, whose autobiography is due today. With allegations of fraud surrounding the election of Umaro Yar'Adua in Nigeria, how do you think global petroleum markets are going to react, particularly considering their understandable wariness given the crumbling infrastructure and continuing civil strife in the Niger Delta?
Certainly, that's an important question.
Certainly.
One with no easy answers.
Yeah.
A lot of issues are at play here.
Right.
I agree. This gentleman that you mentioned certainly needs our trust and support now more than ever.
You mean Umaro Yar'Adua?
Yes, him.
Pakistani officials are expressing outrage following what many in the international community are calling the brutal and unjustified use of Hillary Clinton against their nation. Secretary of State Clinton hit Islamabad at approximately 9 a.m. yesterday as most civilians were starting their workday or attending morning prayers. Just hours after Clinton arrived, the UN released a statement condemning the United States, saying, quote, under no circumstances is there ever a justification for the preemptive deployment of Hillary Clinton anywhere by any country.
Stay tuned. A little later in the hour, we're going to talk about what to do if your child is too sweaty.
But first, another celebrity has traveled to Africa to bring back an exciting addition to her family. Today, Jennifer Aniston arrived in Ethiopia to sign the final papers to adopt a 33-year-old man named Nagasi. An adoption agency right here in the U.S. helped Jen secure Nagasi from the East African orphanage where he was a part-time groundskeeper.
Yes, and for more, let's check in with our own Onion News Network entertainment reporter, Alex Blair.
Hey there, guys.
It sounds like great news for Jen.
Oh, it is, Tracy. Jen's friends and family are just so excited that she'll finally have someone to share her life with.
Right.
For years, she's tried unsuccessfully to get a man the natural way.
Oh, and now that she's getting older.
Yeah, exactly. When Jen realized she couldn't secure a man in America, she started looking into alternative methods of finding a man, and that brought her to an adoption agency.
Ooh, I bet he took to her right away.
out of the Oprah Winfrey Show yesterday, the beloved talk show host made the announcement that she's going to invite fans to be buried along with her in her tomb upon her death.
This is so exciting, and joining us right now with the tales is our own entertainment reporter, Alex Blair. Good morning, Alex.
Hi there, guys. Hi, Alex.
Eternity with Oprah. What a treat. Now tell us how fans can get in on
Well,
it.
it's simple, you guys. The fans deemed worthy by Oprah's producers will be given a voucher for a one-way plane ticket to Chicago to use on whatever day in the future Oprah eventually dies. There, they'll be embalmed and have their bodies purified and wrapped in cloth by Dr. Oz himself.
Wow.
And then they'll be right in there with her in the main chamber.
Yep, the audience will be arrayed in a semicircle around Oprah's sarcophagus so that their souls can receive her wisdom even after death.
And Oprah's going all out, too, isn't she? Outfitting the tomb with some of her favorite things.
That's right. They'll be buried with 450 pairs of Dreamtime foot cozies and 80,000 bottles of Bliss Labs hand moisturizer, which they will use in the afterlife.
Right. It's going to be called the nextMEDIA, and it's being built right now by thousands of women who are excited for the chance to prove their devotion.
That's right, Jim. About 10,000 of her most loyal fans have already started digging the foundation and quarrying the marble that will be needed to build the tomb under the supervision of Oprah's best friend, Gayle King.
Of course.
Wow. Those ladies are working hard.
The Biz Dish sent a camera crew to the construction site this morning.
I already burned offerings to Oprah on my shrine at home, so this is a huge honor.
I will follow Oprah into the next world. I just hope that she's the one who administers.
Top story this hour, police arrested teen pop star Justin Bieber today after an investigation revealed he is not a 16-year-old heartthrob, but rather a 51-year-old pedophile in disguise. Wearing a wig and a rubbery mask, Bieber, born Michael Coate in 1959, spent years cultivating an image as a sensitive teenager and penning innocently suggestive songs like Down to Earth and First Dance, all with the intention of surrounding himself with pubescent girls and fondling them.
While telling his fans he was a virgin, he traveled across the country abusing girls in all 50 states. In retrospect, something as diabolical as Justin Bieber could only have been the product of a remorseless sex fiend.
Criminal psychologist Dr. Hannah Carrier says the lyrics Coate wrote and performed as Bieber manipulated the naive minds of thousands of underage girls.
The songs are full of concepts like sharing special moments and forbidden love. These are fairly standard tropes among active pedophiles. Just thinking about how Justin Bieber's mind works gives me chills.
To maintain his cover, Coate created an elaborate backstory, enrolling in a Canadian high school and hiring a heroin-addicted prostitute to pose as his mother. Coate was able to avoid widespread suspicion until earlier this year when this photo was posted on TMZ, showing what appears to be Bieber's face peeling off during a concert in Lafayette, Louisiana. And yesterday, the police investigations uncovered rare footage of Coate performing in his home without his Bieber disguise.
Don't tell me I ran out of time if it takes the rest of my life.
Take off, eh?